already. Just an immediate fight outside of B. Okay, well, it will be Heroic kind of edging out over that one. Looking to move into this B site now, 4 versus 3. I don't know if that was the intention at the start of this pistol, but hell, when you get 2 kills like that, you kind of want to take the space. Instead, they're looking like they want to run this into Temple, and this now gives them options. They could look to move through mid, they could get real tricky with it, but instead, they will just go back and commit to that B plant. Down here in dark, that's what this room's called. Config is going to get spammed out after one.
It's going to be a learning experience, all these call-outs.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good time with it.
So here we are, look. As they walk around, we can kind of...
Heaven?
So this is Heaven on it,
Yep.
yeah? This is Canals down here, then the bit that's
This
next
is
to that
boats?
right now is Boat, yeah. Then that's A main, like, kind of obvious on this one. Up here's Fountain, because there's fountains
Okay.
to the right of Dexter coming down the wall. Because there's a lot of pillars on B. So it's kind of problematic to say, like, pillar, it's like, oh, which one? Like, that should never be the reply. So
what was the whole, like, there's like 5 connectors on this map as well?
So no, so we've lowered the amount of connectors.
Down to 2.
Down to 1, I think. Connector is A, like mid to A.
Okay.
That's A connector, but some people call Temple B connector.
Okay.
But that's like, you know.
Now, I guess the one worry you have if you're Heroic at this point, if you're Yabi, is I've got this AK-47 of Ruins all alone outside the B-bomb site, and if I lose it, that would suck.
Ooh.
I feel like Config took a step back when the dink sound came out and goes, actually, that did no
and then
damage.
he realized, like, wait, that like did nothing. Okay. Yeah, just trying to hunt down these saving players. And hell, man, send Config in with the MAC-10. He kind of stands to gain a lot more than he would lose here. Everyone wants to hunt this. Glyph is cleared by Nexa, or Config rather. And
Nexa.
Dexter's even finished off right at the very end. So we have that 3-0 start. The hunt pans out as well. They put a stop to all those saved guns, and that's going to be the full reinvestment for OG.
Yeah, a nice little hunt there from Heroic, being ruthless. Ruthless here on Anubis to start things out. Round number 4, but you've got
Oh, a nice opener from Dexter's AWP, striking early, putting a stop to this cross over at B main. Flames trying to look for a gap in this smoke down at dark. But Cadian and Shush lie in wait on the other side. This dark control is very, very big for getting into the B side of the map. Once you've got it as a T, you just feel like you have so much, you know, so much more ground, so much more kind of pressure put on the site, and it really restricts the sight lines that CTs can look to play around default. Even the Temple angle is no longer super safe. You've got to play it further back. So this fight matters a lot, and Heroic, they put a lot of resources into flushing the man out of dark. Fiku playing around default. They're getting closer with each passing second, and Tessez will overwhelm him. They're able to keep it in the advantage of OG, but that plant is coming in.
And the execute smokes keep the CTs at bay as well. Tessez almost goes down through the smoke. He's going to sit right at the plant spot. 4 HP as he tries to sneak back in towards dark. They're going to be doubled up here. Tough position to be in. Moves back to give Shush some space to work with. He wants 1 kill before he goes down.
Up close, it's in with that swing. Dexter finds him. Shush, this bomb's planted for him. He sat pretty down in dark, trying to play around it. Neo frag, first to swing. First man out of the round as well. But there's Nexa with the trade. And so OG, they will get that retake back under control, coming in with their first CT side round right away.
Yeah, nice execute, but a better retake from Heroic in a 3-on-2, being cautious and patient with all the new angles to have to clear out. They've got their first round on the board. Good shooting from Dexter. That's a nice hold from Fiku in a really desperate scenario. As you mentioned, they'd gotten that powerful leverage point of dark early on with a good trade. But Fiku...
You find something. It has a very kind of Banana Inferno feel to it. But if you had to fight for Banana every round...
Ooh, that's a nice little soft toss of the grenade from Flames. Chunks Config down very low. Molotov to delay things even further. Oh, and a beautiful flashbang behind it. But I don't know how Config's been given that one. He had no eyeballs.
That's what I imagine even he's kind of surprised that he gets away with it there. All right, A-main aggression coming through the pipeline for OG. Doubled up here, but Heroic are a little stronger lying in wait on the other side. 4 strong outside of the A site. Neo frag with a lineup. Hello! Missed shot at the trade from the AWP. And now down to the USP. He might just have to make a bit of a retreat here. Getting himself out of the firing line. Getting a reload off. He's armed and ready to go.
Look how nervous he is, though, of Akon. He's so scared he's going to be wrapped upon because Tessis has infiltrated deep.
Oh, this is big. They're rooting through lower, through dark, into the B site, and Tessis has opened it up. I'm expecting to see him being annoying in middle a hell of a lot more. You can really influence these rotates. You get so much info from it. And there, it's that one little backstab moment that teed Heroic up for this round. He had the info that the rotate had already happened. He had the info that there was a man in Temple. He kind of just pieced together where everything was for OG there.
And with all the chaos, with the double push out towards boats, or out towards A-main, we're calling that?
Yeah. Or boats. It was
towards boats,
push.
yeah. I'll give it to myself. I mean, that's a lot of resources there that take your eyes off middle, so Tess is just able to occupy the space so well. And we're going to see a lot of those gaps, I think, in the early going of Anubis as teams still get adjusted and kind of figure out their game plan on how they shift around the map. A 4th round for Heroic. Here's that blind kill from Config. He can see absolutely nothing. Bro, I can't believe when he took out the USP, he was still challenging.
Yeah.
I can't believe he went back for that. He had the opportunity to retreat so much earlier. That was bold. And Cadian able to make sure that Neofrag has...
Map you ended up on when it was Heroic's choice.
Perhaps not. Yep. I was hearing... Ooh, hold the thought. Hold the thought. That's a great shot. Cadian almost with a quick follow-up over towards Temple. Nexa's just locked down. Knows he can't go for the repeat. Good clear from Yabby. Config adds one in as well. And this round is lost. So I was going to say, during media day, when I was going between the various rooms to do my little interviews and all that jazz, heard someone interviewing Cadian talking about Anubis, and he was just mentioning, like, I like this map. This is cool. We've had a lot of fun kind of coming into a new map and coming up with new ideas and creating it. So I had like an inkling at some point Anubis would be brought out. I'm surprised we've seen it twice already, though, on the opening day.
I really think it's just a really good map. Like, it's very well... No, but, like, genuinely, you know, like... I think if the map's good, because you're always going to have teams that, like, cling to a brand new map early on because they want to try and learn it and, like, hit the ground running and have that be,
It's such a
like
benefit if you're the first team to establish.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of, like, set the meta. You're, like, the ones that the guys are looking to try and influence their own strategy and learn how to play. So that always happens, but I feel like there's been, like, a more widespread adoption of Anubis because it is... Just fundamentally, it plays and feels how a CS map should.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great replacement for Dust too. I do like that everyone's kind of taken to it so well. It's so fun.
Round 7. Nobody towards B for the moment. Heroic hustling through boats. Dexter's waiting with the ult. That's a great first kill. Swings back out, gets a second.
All right. Dexter with a tag. The molly flushes him out into the open, and he will burn alive. That's a nice bit of util to displace a player at the fountain pillar position over outside of B.
That was the kill. That was the kill that would allow Heroic to stream into the A bomb site, but a good hold from Nexa. He's down to 15 HP. Cadian's got to slowly creep in.
Yeah, I mean, kind of 50-50. Will he check up? Will he check down? He flicks to it. All right. Knocks Nexa out of the round, but there is still this second man lying in wait. Another re-swing from heaven, and now they learn about Neofrag. That was kind of a lovely, you know, double peek out of those two CT defenders. Just timing that slightly wider swing from the close angle with the heaven peek. And of course, lovely AWP openers from Dexter. That fountain position here, the pillar he hides behind, it is a real power position. Teams are going to have util to deal with it. And so it was nice to see Heroic had that up their back pocket at least.
Yeah. Config looking for a peek through window. It's not coming. It's coming now.
Oh, okay, that's a little bit awkward. Config, he was holding it in his defense, but it's a very, you know, deep peek from Neofrag there for the opener. And it was just an angle that Config didn't quite have. Now the jump spot there for info is nice. You spotted Yabi over towards these long doors. Fiku, back of the site, on plat. Spotted him now. That smoke obscures their vision and can give you a little one-way over the top as well. It's a very powerful one-way at that. So let's see if Fiku's going to elect to play it. He will. Looking for a shot over the top. Yabi's going to spam him out. I guess he's seen that one before.
Yeah, but OG's, they've done such a good job of getting information of what's coming at this B-bomb site that they've been able to kind of deploy all the defensive utility, and they've negated anything Heroic wanted to do with the execute, so no more nades for the Heroic T side. They've got to win this 3-on-4 with some dry fights. And Shush is going to try and create a little bit of chaos on the map, moving across bridge. That footstep will be heard.
Flames, kind of missing these timings, will eventually catch on. These guys have made it out through B main, but only good for 1 kill. And now the plant out of dark. NeoFrag could put a stop to this, and he just about does. By hiding, he's won the round. Beautiful scenes there. Tessa's caught. There was maybe half a second left on that bomb plant, if we're being generous. And so that little swing out of NeoFrag makes all the difference.
That's so sick as well. I mean, the awareness as well. You catch, like, the one player's planting the bomb. Shush had just gotten a kill over towards middle. NeoFrag knows exactly the positioning and just a quick turn down this window. That's a nice peek. Kaden wasn't ready for it whatsoever. I'm not sure, maybe they thought Config would have spotted a peek like that, but as we said, just way too deep. But this is just good awareness.
It surprises me that they didn't plant for Temple, given that's the real estate they have. Dexter wins this alt fight over towards B main. Fiku tagged up, but Flames is here to help him out, and they want to fight for this control. This kill's from lower dark. Config getting stuck in, but it's cancelled out. Dexter dispatches of him.
I mean, with those initial 3 kills on the challenge, it's like Dexter's just like, I got so much room to move up. Smoke down on the choke point. He has all the safety in the world to address dark. Shush quickly the last one left. And he's going to get taken down. Dexter's up having a huge influence in this game. The stop towards A main a few rounds ago. Now towards the B bomb site, he's got 3 kills.
Så lad mig krille gå tæt midt, og så rush A, Ras og René. Bare plus 50 du.
Lost a similar battle to Cadian earlier in this house.
Site now next once again at Fountains. I mean, you kind of feel like this is a position, like I said, a real power position where you're always good for 1. It should be. Dexter with a couple of missed shots here, just going through the motions on this AWP.
There he is.
And so Yabi has managed to find his way to a bomb plant. You cheeky devil.
Who's
you
the anchor?
Cheeky devil.
Call him out and shame him. Rotated away with no bomb in sight. Extra money is going to be lovely for Heroic. This is going to be a 4th round in a row for OG. They've come.
This little spot down by drop down in the canals, it looks like. It's kind of constantly here. There's this smoke that gets lobbed in to block off that early peak from dark. I don't imagine that's a peak that many teams are going to get away with. Right, it's a pretty easy smoke to lob in from spawn.
That's a lot of utility spent towards canals for OG. Dexter again gonna have influence. Another opening kill with that up towards A main. Gonna reposition with the AWP. NeoFrag has control of middle as well. No one from Heroic has been able to push forward and gain any space. This offense is still very well held at bay for the moment.
It's crazy how that 1 kill from Dexter's AWP with the pillar is like fully put the fear in Heroic. They've fully abandoned the idea of even looking at A in this round, so much so that OG don't have anyone on that side of the map. They are fully playing around this being a B play. NeoFrag's mid push has only confirmed that, and Heroic are churned up in at B main. Tess says 1 versus 3, has this fight on the man that was flanking. But from there, where could he hope to take it? He would have so little time, and NeoFrag is just masterfully delaying this kill.
Does he have time?
No. Yeah, it's an easy no. That's the save for Tessez. Just gonna hold on to the AK and armor because he couldn't really do anything else. And I like that OG were kind of able to recognize the The response after losing Canals, right, and after having that A fight not go Heroic's way, you know, how are they going to try and respond to it? What would be like a good counterplay? I like that Dexter just like ups and leaves here, right? He kind of goes, well, they've seen me at Pillar, they've seen me at the Fountain, they know that I'm in a position that's just full gamble, even throwing mid-aggression in a man advantage spot. Like, it's crazy just kind of how much they got away with in that round.
Yeah, and Config's position at Dark is the leverage. So hold the thought, Neofrag dinked, he's gonna have to back away. He knows the challenge is coming, does great damage, gets the kill, completes it with the fire. And Yabi now moving in, but Flames has given away his position, and that's an easy kill. Smoke towards Temple, Molotov towards Dark to prevent the flank because Config is so far out of the action.
Yeah, it might not look like Config's super involved, but he has a route to get towards Dark. And from there, he can look to harass players as they try to cross onto the bomb. Dexter wrapping through B long, will not have an angle to Yabi. He has been spotted by Dexter's AWP. Knocked him out of the round, and now it is left onto Config. While he can watch the cross, he does have to swing to stop a defuse, and he'll come early. Config with one. Now spots Nexa back at main. That molly forces him back. He's got one shot to catch him crossing, and he makes it look easy.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, a perfect timing. With Nexa flanking and Dexter finding that kill and coming into the B-bomb site, they knew exactly where Config was. But a perfect timing as Dexter pulls out a smoke. Activates Config in the 1v2 right here. No chance for Dexter, no gun out. And
a little more interesting as well. Dexter's going to take it into middle, and that is a lovely way for him to find this opener. Not really anything Heroic could have hoped to do. He goes back in. Third time, maybe the charm as well.
Oh no.
Clean tap from Flames, and this has gone disastrously for Heroic to open up.
Okay, well, Config's about to give him an opportunity. Fiku's got to play this one passively. Let them have the bomb site if they've taken it. No need for you to peek for information and give away your position. Let them in. Let your teammates wrap around through Ruin. It's exactly what's happening for the moment. Yabi's going to go check any spots too. And that's a real issue.
This is so hard. They know the net is closing. They know that with each second, more and more OG players are arriving, and now that they've lost the bomb down in lower, down in dark, it is a rough place for Config to find himself. Caught off by the second man in through B main. Blindsided by him. It is an eco round win for OG to tie us up.
And all credit to Dexter. The 2 opening kills with the AWP. He's been doing that this entire half, finding those initial kills. He has been a beast at the B-bomb site, at the A-bomb site, now here at middle. And I mean, that's the kind of confidence or just insanity when you know you have to deliver. You're the only AWP. You're the only right.
Flames liked the A main aggression. He liked it last round. He's going to try it again here.
Heroic have had, like, I think one round of, like, mid-round creeping success slowly with Cadian leading the way early on in the half, but that was against an eco. Oh, ooh, the swat drop into Canals. Neofrag traded immediately. Yabi's cracked open B, but the bomb was dropped deep in Canals. So it's going to take a little bit of time and give Flames an opportunity, but a good double peek. And that should be the final round of the first half sealed in the favor of Heroic. It's a 3v1.
And it's awkward for Nexa. Like, he doesn't even really know where they're going right now. You know, you see them in canals like that, it can mean anything. It's such a fast rotate between A and B. He's just got to flip a coin and hope that it comes up his way. On this little mid-walk.
It's not. There's 2 heads on this coin.
Yeah. Still hasn't heard anything to allude to this being the B play. There's a bit of util going out now. So that will start to have his decision shaping up. But with Tessez on the angle, it seals the deal on an 8-7 half.
Middle, oh, and it works out initially, but it all spins out of control after the fact. Config gonna come in for a late pick. 3 targets there. 3 people staring at his position. And Cadian making sure they can't just easily and freely drop into canals. But with this mid presence, if they can force Config off the angle with that gush, they have access to both bomb sites.
Yeah, it's so much control. Now they've spotted Cadian. Unable to deal with him, though. And this gets a little bit weird now, right? You're kind of aware that Cadian's been holding this drop down, so he knows that no one's coming on this quick rotate to B. OG, they try to group up for the long B hit, and right now, Cadian's got no idea.
Yeah, Config has such low HP, he can't reposition himself all that well. You can see they're clearing out their flanks at the moment. They've got so many different angles and so many different routes to be paranoid about. And it's perhaps the most obvious one that they've taken their gaze away from. B main is where Fiku and Dexter make their move, and they should be able to at least get a free plant. No kit on Config and Cadian. And a tough retake in store for Heroic's defense.
Oh, Cadian, you cheeky devil. He gets in deep, and Dexter had no idea. He spotted Fiku running away, and so Cadian knew that one was a freebie. Can he convert the next? Fiku down in dark, taps Config out of the round, but cannot stick the landing versus Cadian, who goes on to do a hell of a lot for Heroic in that pistol. It was him who found the equalizer to put them back into a 2v2, and then he gets both of those players in the retake. Lovely stuff from the captain.
What a great timing. This is a beautiful kill on the repeat from Nexa, but this one right here, the trigger discipline to realize he just saw the player go in towards dark, and he knows he's got bang in a decoy.
Having the AWP here is just wild. Like, you're not expecting that if you're OG. And it's really, going to kind of change up the angles that Cadian can occupy over towards this B side of the map. Right now, he's sat on this CT angle for a swing. But he could just as easily reposition in towards Temple, and then he's kind of that like swing player, able to rotate and still hold these long angles with the AWP. A lot of options open right now on the back of that gun being present in this, anti-force buy round. Starting to look like an A hit though, right? As everyone abandons this B side of the map.
Yeah.
Grouping up.
It's really patient. They're at least going away from the AWP, which is quite nice, but with 3 players essentially defending the A bomb site, Config can be there with some speed, with some pace. And Shush is at that all-powerful pillar position, fountain position. Oh,
yeah.
what are you supposed to do?
No, right? It's brutal. Like, you got 20 seconds as well. Like, you kind of have to go through this if you're OG. Or you just, I guess, save and do it again in the next.
Yeah, you have to save.
Oh, that's so
no
awkward. One wanted to make this cool.
No.
It's a unicorn round on Anubis. I don't know if we've had one of those yet.
Oh, my Lord. Stalled out by a single smoke. And, I mean, I think you'd see him go through it if they had the flashbangs, but with his second run by, there's no money. And now with everyone saving, you have no money to replenish utility again.
Yeah, it's awkward all across the board because it's like, a flash, a couple of nades even, a Molotov, anything to like displace that pillar player or nullify some of the angles.
No, he's visible. I think he's fine with it though. Take the shot, let him know he's coming. This time he eats a teammate's flashbang though. Taken down. Yabi's the only one to defend, and he's got a lot to do. 5 players streaming in from heaven position. He gets nothing done. And now it's Heroic's turn to save.
Yeah, they're very locked out of this one, and in the 3v5, you don't even want to risk getting near, Heaven, starting to try and peek through the connector.
I don't know if that position from Shush is as strong as he might think it is. If he takes the damage from it.
Because at first I thought like, oh no, he's like in a position where maybe they can like see an elbow, like the pixels extend past the hitbox or whatever. I thought that's what we had, but. No, they can see him and they can hit him.
And also, I mean, it's a nice, easy way to throw that smoke off the angle of the wall, but when you're pressured and you're spammed and you've already taken damage, it's a really hectic situation to fall back and find any safety if they pick up the pace on you. 2-round lead, 10-8.
Only thing I can think of is like maybe that's kind of the design is like, you're going to force a shot out of them that isn't lethal and that triggers you to throw the smoke, but it's a
little 3-man SWAT team maneuver from Heroic. Oh, Cadian look in the wrong direction, and the double doors betray him. Good find from Nexa. And now in boats. OG's chilling, but Heroic's got an aggressive stance. They're like, all right, nobody takes this 3 times in a row against us. Does put Shush in a position where he can make a fast flank. If they stop having information and stop feeling pressure. With Cadian going down, though, look at the way that Config and Tesses have to address the flank. They're very worried about mid. This is leaving the B bomb site pretty much, or not pretty much, entirely evacuated with no CT presence. And they have that timing as long as the smoke is up in B main, but it's just now faded.
Oh, yeah, Tesses is just going to make it back onto Glyph. out on platform as the molly forces a wider swing. Dexter dispatches of them both inside of the B-hold. And there is this reply, at least, from the fast flank of Shush. He could have got dropped on in middle, but instead, Nex is elected for a big old flank here. Just to safeguard the round, really. You can plant this bomb for CT now and have very few worries about Shush coming up with a clutch in this 1v3. He's swinging it wide, and there's Nexa to get the better of him.
Let's go.
OG trying to forge that path into the lead right as the doors close on this series.
Oh, 5-on-4 as well, though. Kaden gets the opening, but traded off immediately. Yeah, that'll be frustrating. That's like a why the hell did he do that? Kind of a face palm. Over the flames as well. Tessus could see nothing. Good openings provided by Dexter. Man, he's a beast right now. First half where that op was.
I think, you know, with the map being so new as well, we're going to be prone to individuals being able to take control of games till we have, like, util sets to try and deal with it. And Dexter is certainly fitting that bill right now. Finally, he's bested in a clash of these AWPers, right? Cadian comes out ahead of him.
You've played your trap card early, though, if you're heroic. Now they know an AWP is in the field of play, that Cadian has that.
So suddenly everything's about to get a lot more measured from OG. They want to try and dodge this AWP. The best way to deal with it is to never face it at all from this point onward.
And this little bit of a fake, this little bit of utility thrown out by Fiku is completely stalled out Heroic from shifting over. Now it looks like they're going to find just the absolute perfect timing. They're going to get back, but do they have the resources to actually slow this?
Ooh, Shush. Going unaccounted for. Oh, double dink off the USP, but it's nothing to get too excited about. They do eventually deal with him, and they find their way to a 10th. Cadian just decides he doesn't want to stick around. He's got more to offer holding on to that AWP than dying in a gunfight for the site control.
Yeah, he didn't think the USPs had enough stopping power to keep him in safety, so just makes the decision to abandon his teammates and prioritize the AWP. Can't really blame him. It's going to be tied up, 10-10.
It's that little corner he was in. That's what folks I play with have taken to call him fishtail.
Fishtail.
Because,
yeah.
Because it looks
a little bit like a fish.
A little bit like a fish. I see that, yeah, actually.
It actually looks exactly like a fish.
It looks exactly, sorry, it was the bomb site itself looks like a fish, yeah.
Yeah.
I see that. You guys see that if you look on the map? It's a little green one.
Yeah, squint your eyes, tilt your head.
Forget what a fish looks like, and there it is. All right, all tied up in this one now. OG, they're Anubis players. Get in. You do not own this angle, so instead, Yabi has to be a bit more like reactionary or wait for this smoke to come in.
Yeah. Molotov towards jail. The jumping shot, his head was given away, but that's a tough one to hit even for Dexter. And now it's Flames who's got to make a move. He knows his teammates have been stalled out in B main. He's got to provide an opening towards Dark. Missed a very slim chance to get it. Cadian peeking up top, maybe a little bit over-aggressive, has found Fiku. Still plenty of time for OG to recover. That's a tough loss to take if you're heroic, excuse me. Ooh. That's an even worse one.
It's very aggressive from Config. He had Tesses there backing him up, so they at least managed to go 1-for-1 on that, but Dexter.
Do it.
He ain't gonna drop. Not with the bomb on his back, Jason.
That's
we both love it, but Yabi missed shot. Low HP on this AWP. Just has to concede, has to give it up. So mid's now owned by OG. They move into this A side of the map. Dexter needs to chase down this man in the heavens, and he will find him. B2 as he drops into the site. Gonna have time to get this bomb planted. First point of contact is gonna be up here in the heavens, and he's not ready for Yabi, who's like a speed demon around that corner. In there, out of there, and the round goes the way of Heroic.
I don't even know if Yabi really thought he was going to hit that shot. It looked like he just wanted
like
to...
a Hail Mary.
Yeah, like, a little jiggle peek, take some attention, allow your teammate to get the kill, and he's like, all right, I'll take it. No scope through the wall. This is sketchy. Shush almost fluffed that shot. A good find. Here we go.
Ooh, well. Ooh. You wouldn't be blamed for thinking he wasn't going to get it.
I know.
Even looking at it on replay, it just looks like, yeah.
He is. All right, Tessus wants to get aggressive in middle, smoked off. He's going to do it anyways. Awkward fight comes out and 2 kills given up, offered up to OG. And now Cadian's the next one. Finds an initial.
They're wrapping him fast, though. They're wrapping him far faster than he's ready for. Ooh. Still, he's going to finish the job. Now back onto the open. Oh, cadiaN tears him down. Up close in mid. It's the hat trick from this AWPD combo, and Dexter is suddenly thrown into a 1v3.
That is a disgusting triple kill from cadiaN, holding the fort when everything else fell around him. I didn't even think he realized that someone was wrapping around him through house. I thought he was just gonna get stalled out. Man, OG tied up and then hit a brick wall. 4 straight for Heroic now. Unless Dexter's got something crazy. Look at this. Around the edge of the smoke, finds a nice freebie, getting spammed a little bit to hold him back. He's looking for Neofrag, finds him, and this kill is special.
It's so crazy as well when you think about how that round started, right? That happened in a 3v5. That's insane that, like, you know, while he's getting run down by the guys who have just annihilated his teammates in their, like, attempted mid-play, you know, he kind of comes in late to the party, just a little bit behind everyone else, and is able to make up for it.
And he doesn't let OG slow it down, right? Doesn't let them hit the pause button and really work the map. He's just like, all right, I got to create something right now before this really gets out of control, before we have no idea where they are. Well done from cadiaN. Dexter saving the ult. 10 seconds left. Look at his teammates' monies. They've got nothing.
Yeah, just kind of a sad save at the end for
Look at that
Dexter.
smile. Look at that little smirk cadiaN's wearing. I think he said you missed
yourself into in that first half.
Oh, those are some cool flashbangs to activate some aggression. Tess's and Shush able to just maintain control of Ruins. They've got a deep angle with a fast flank. Config now, similar position to Dexter early on. Flashbang comes out almost with a quick shot. He's going to stay and challenge. Flames goes down, and Config wants more.
He's sat pretty on the bomb. He's got a teammate with him as well. Config, he can feel that this round is teed up. If they can just hold the fort here, they can just hold the line. And this one, this 15th round is theirs for the taking. Footsteps. You're not going to bait that AWP shot out. And there's that second player getting activated. A beautiful little sequence from Config's AWP. Inspired, spurred on from cadiaN's round in the last. It's AWPs on AWPs, baby.
AWPs on AWPs on AWPs. Good shooting from Config. This one's nice. Quick on the jump. And yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, that reload, it's gonna cost you. Tess has found Config having a look at lower, but is only able to get one with that AWP. And now OG, I mean, you don't get more of an invite into a site than that. 2 quick kills in rapid succession, sees them taking over B, and now looking to set up for this retake. They got, assuming Heroic even want to go further than this.
I was going to say,
a lot of money.
They got a ton of money, but I think you're still hoping that you get one cheeky kill before pulling the trigger, and if you don't get that, it might be time to back off and save.
Oh, Dexter's frag only gonna make matters worse for Heroic, and they didn't really have a lot of util themselves to throw in and make this too complicated. cadiaN's gonna take one as they attempt to cross out of the site, but it's still an OG round when all is said and done. Gun saved and money still in great standing for Heroic. They've just got faith that they can right their wrongs in the next round.
4 more chances to close out this series. Tessus never realized they creeped up that close in canals. While he's spamming through the smokes, they're already very, very close along the wall.
Ooh, Heroic are dedicating like everyone into this dark position. They've just moved their entire B defense to take control down at dark. They peeked the canals and gave it a little look in. They didn't see anything. So I wonder if this is going to lead to an early rotate. Oh, it looks like it, right? You can see Yabi starting to move over towards this this A side of the map, starting to take up control of middle. OG are poised for the A hit. So Heroic, they've pieced this one together nicely right now. However, there was just a little bit of util lobbed over towards B. That's pulled them back. Suddenly this B defense, it's down to 1 man. It's Shush here. He does have cadiaN nearby to help him out. But it's going to have to be a tremendous helping hand if this is the split. Nexa, he's got this timing, he's got the round in the palm of his hand, right here, in with the backstab, Cadian dead, Shush concealed by the smoke for now, but not for long. And with this two-man defense uprooted, OG, they're home free in this one. This is 12 rounds.
When Yabi rotated over to the A bomb site, Cadian directed him to go the long route to come in and actually defend the site. He said, I have the op on mid, I have control of this, but then Yabi shifted back to the B bomb site, and Cadian had to take his eyes away to help Shush. And that opens up the mid push from Nexa. The space was challenged, and Nexa finds the opening kill. And Heroic once again forced to just try and save their weapons. Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of wild to me that, like, you know, the handful of flashes that were thrown over towards that B side of the map was enough to just, like, completely, you know, uproot that original game plan of having the early rotate from Yabi.
You'll notice Shush hasn't gone back to that position from earlier in the half.
Yeah, he's not keen to go back up there, is he?
He was like, all right, maybe this isn't as good as I thought it was.
But now Yabi won't commit to swinging it. Cadian on like a real island outside of A main. It's like, if he hits this first shot, he's going to be fine and get out of there, try to reposition. Probably don't have super close spacing in case it's an M4 here.
Oh, this defense is in trenches, and though there's a timing here. Okay, Yabi's just going to get into position. Oh,
no!
Nade is out! Nade is out, and Yabi goes down next. Oh, it's happened again.
That's just brutal. Oh, but the last time, you know, we got caught with nades in our hands. It didn't matter. It was inconsequential. Now it's given over 14 to OG. Heroic, like, so far removed. They don't even have mid right now. They don't even know what's happening in middle. They couldn't justify giving this a look in, even if it was a 3v3. They've got to go save these guns. They've got to try and do it in round 30. That's where they've got to stop this comeback in its tracks and secure the series, or else this goes to overtime. And then it's anyone's guess how it pans out. OG have looked better and better as this game's gone on.
Yeah, they've really powered up into this. Yep.
Oh, dude, I mean,
we've all been there.
It's a frustrating way for it to go. Like, there's literally nothing else to be said about that one.
There's nothing to do but stream obscenities. Now, super important that Tess has actually survived. He can drop an AWP over to Cadian. He can drop an op over to Cadian. Dexter's still having a very quiet second half.
Oh, they're wanting to go A. Out of the gate, at least. There's no presence over towards this B side of the map. They're all grouped at rugs. That's the safest crossing you can take, right? You're not vulnerable to a peek from dark or canals, and it stops anyone getting aggro in mid-window, getting that spot.
The timing's perfect, though. Heroic once again got aggressive out towards Ruins, but now here comes the hit. Good flashbang, and there's no defense here to hold on. What a shot from Flames.
Navi's going to try and fill the void, try to regain some semblance of control, but he's burnt out by the Molotovs. Just a ring of fire raining down over the top of the heavens, down into the depths of hell. Tess says, first man to arrive to this crime scene, and it's a bloody massacre. Everyone else is gone. Cadian's now moving in to join it. That nade could have found the kill, but it lands a little shallow. And with each passing second, Heroic had started to dawn on them. This one's out of their hands. Successful for Heroic, right?
Yeah.
It was only once they had to start kind of worrying about their money that we saw them move away from it. So maybe that's the key.
Config had a great round with the AWP in the B bomb site. Cadian had an amazing round in middle with the AWP. Again, it's been that A bomb site that they've really, really struggled with. Outside of stalling OG out in the second round of the second half with a smoke, that part of the map has just been exposed repeatedly. OG's just so passive right now.
Yeah, it's kind of brutal as well because, you know, this time around it's like they're poised completely differently, but I really get the feeling that this is still the A play. It's just like a different means to that end. You know, they've taken this mid control away. They've sliced the map in two effectively. And now they're in this power position where they can look to go A or B on a backstab from this mid control. 3 players trying to get across. Yabi's caught turning from flashes. And yeah, here's this routing in towards the A side of the map. Cadian, that could have been the collateral, but now he's fighting backed into a corner. And the drop down kills him. That moment of inaccuracy seals the death certificate of Cadian. The backstab for Fiku deletes the remaining heroic player. And Shush, all alone, wondering where it went oh so wrong, is left to walk in to a lost A-bomb site 1v4.
I think this has just got to be a product of being so worried about this part of the map that Shush is fighting in at the moment. Heroic spent that whole round with no eyes on middle. OG was able to take so much space for free. Nobody shifted to cover it. I mean, this kill comes out over the flames. Yabi gets blinded. But on the other side of that, behind Neofrag, was Config behind the smoke. And with an AWP, there's no play he can make through that.
Config, hello!
Make this one personal, is Dexter. All right. We might even have a head-to-head between them down here in lower. Config lies in wait. Smoke down, but it looks like OG want to try and fight through it, and Flames gonna open up. Did that smoke fall through the map? It looks like it did.
And now, I mean, now there's a massive issue too, because most of the defense was aligned at the A bomb site in middle where they've had so many problems, but now it's B bomb site. That powerful leverage position of Dark. They come streaming out, but Yabi and Tesses do good work. But now it all falls on Yabi. Coming through Temple are reinforcements, but he's still standing tall, and finally they arrive.
Dexter starts to burn in the molly. That's important info. It's so hot inside of this site. He's burnt out. Everywhere he went, fire at his feet.
Nice, man. That's not too down.
They're lucky to recover.
Yeah, you know, it's around still, man. That's what Heroic got to remind themselves here. They've finally been able to put one up. And, you know, to their credit, they weren't really ready for that to be a B play. You know, they are able to pull everyone around in time and kind of make ends meet there.
Uh-oh.
Dude, he's been waiting for this exact fight. Like, he's just been waiting for them to try and peek B main, and there it is, finally. You know, it might have taken rounds upon rounds, but this passive kind of AWP style early on has worked for Dexter, netting an early opener.
That's one of the few rounds we haven't seen Heroic deploy a flashbang as well to make that aggression work. Fiku, I don't think he realized he spotted two. Two different players showed him a little bit of leg. Config gonna shut him down through the smoke. So into a 4-on-4.
Okay.
All right.
Auto sniper now.
just showing presence, making him nervous.
Actually, it's kind of cool because he just spammed that, and it's like Config ain't peeking that.
Nex is outcalling him so hard right now. Look at the paranoia over at the A bomb site.
Oh, this is so smartly put together from OG. It's beautiful, man. Everything about it, all the kind of little minute details of this. A thing of beauty, and it's shaped up lovely for OG to get this B control. Tess says, trying to fight for it. Smoke also went under the map. That's 2 in a row now over towards this B site. Flames gonna win his fight down in dark. Yabi taken out of the round. Tesses and Shush very late to arrive inside of B. And Tesses dies immediately. Shush finished off as well. It's OG winning out that first half of overtime.
Yeah, 2-1 on the T side. Puts himself in an advantage position. Dexter had some good rounds in this OT after a quiet second half. He's up to 29 kills. What a shot from Flames. Config even got spotted the first few shots, and Flames just keeps delivering.
I just need to say, like, Neofrag firing that auto to deny an info peek from Config is, like, huge. It just meant that, like, they never had the info that that was going to be me. Config could have pieced it all together with one little swing, and he was never going to do it.
Yeah.
Once he learned that that auto sniper was there. Just kind of a cool way to fake them into not peeking that angle.
Now, remember conversely, too, if you think strategically, going back to the first half, Heroic was never able to exploit long A. They got shut down in that position constantly.
Yeah.
Dexter with the AWP was all over the map finding opening kills. This time, he's towards the B bomb site, which is exactly where Heroic is heading.
She seemed like they're one step ahead. Got this triple hold in the right place at the right time with a smoke down in B main. It's Heroic have to reconsider, really. Oh my goodness. Config trying to play close to dark is spammed out.
Oh my lord, and Heroic gets stalled completely. They want nothing to do with the B bomb site all of a sudden. Neofrag's in a perfect position. I don't think he can hear those footsteps, can he?
No, I don't think so. He can hear him if they're near the top of mid, so I think the late cross of Cadian is why he heard this.
Dexter can hear him too now.
Next, he can hear them moving through the connector. They've gathered all the info. Cadian still waits back in middle, right? That could be a bit of a swing fight here, as he has a chance to cut down these rotates all across the map. Heroic, they're holding every one of these avenues in for the retake. This is going to come down to just a series of like 1v1s taking place all across the map. Shush with the first and the second. There's the A main component dealt with. Now you've just got to look ahead. You've just got to worry about what's in front of you. It's this hairpin rotate, and it's cut down. It's dealt with. OG have flushed out. The backstabs in from Cadian, and that is a very put-together round there from Heroic.
Yeah, that's beautifully recovered. A 4v5, and Heroic's initial plan of the B bomb site had no legs to it. A huge call to rotate back around the map. And this time, Shush holds a long from the T side in the post flank. All tied up. 17s apiece. Kind of the final boss of that A bomb site. Like they've shown in the previous round that they can handle it with that safe Molotov, as you mentioned, and they can break into the bomb site. But when Dexter's been here with the ult,
yeah, like he's been that stopping power, right?
He shut him down about three times in regulation from this position with the AWP.
Well, if he gets the A play, can he do it when it really counts? Config waiting, tucked on in, they're playing around this smoke, and they find that opener from the dark push. They give Heroic a taste of their own medicine, really. Dexter's also playing it a lot wider here. He's gonna have a little sprint before he can get back to safety. Just tucking in at the fountain now. Nades to follow, and there's that all bringing out with one. Neofrag spotted flanking. That might cause a bit of change of tune here. Flames tucking himself in. Oh, they do look at him, but he's going to win that head-to-head. Cadian going back into that AWP, and Dexter, the hero of this A side of the map, will not let them in. Will not give it up. Yabi with one, but he's tagged low in the process. And where do you even begin if you want to win this 1v2? Next is sat pretty, just waiting on the bomb, and you know he's doing this. Starting to walk his way. Yabi's got to be clean in this first fight. Can't afford for it to be lengthy. Can't afford for it to be long. He's going to win it on the first swing, and he will. Doesn't know where Nexa is. Might assume he's playing for a trade. Starting to make his way in now. Yabi clearing all these angles, but has very limited time. Hiding in connector is Nexa. Could just look to swing and end it. The fake. Yabi, he needs the kill, and Nexa swings to find it. We're running this one back in double overtime as this series rages on long into the night.
Yeah, it really does. Dexter now up to 33 kills, and again delivers a phenomenal performance. We gotta give credit over to Flames as well. His push through dark to take out Config early on, that is a bold call to make for an opening duel in overtime. Especially the deciding map, and Heroic have let 6 chances to close out this series slip out of their grasp.
I'll just go with...
And just red roll as he heads in to the second round of this second overtime. Flames, hot hands, stinging hands as he takes the peek down through lower, but he isn't able to find anything. Instead, dropping this smoke, it's gone pretty deep, and Config's already ahead of it. That might give you a bit of a false sense of security down in this dark position.
Flames is rotated off. They're putting a lot of faith in the hands of Dexter. Config's gonna challenge early, quietly.
Dropped mid and doesn't commit to B. Instead, he's clearing out A,
They
which
can't
is where
fall
the
back.
bomb is. And if the bomb tries to come back now, it's gonna go right into it. But no! Why did he turn around, Jason? Make it make sense. Cadian's found him, and that was a huge opportunity. That was the chance for OG, and it's just sailed right past them.
Oh, and now Config has infiltrated the CT side. What a heartbreaking maneuver. Oh, he wants that one back, Neofrag. He wants it back. He seemed so confused. He seemed so sure of what was happening for like 2 seconds, and then he had no idea. He completely forgot. Oh, the pressure.
Oh, and even a close, a flawless round. They hunt them all down.
Whoa, what happened?
Dude, that is brutal. That is like walking into a room and upon getting there going like, what did I need from this room again?
Yeah,
like
why did I come
that
here?
was like the Counter-Strike equivalent. He gets all this way up and then he's like, what am I even doing right now? And then just turns around. That's wild. It's not even like there were like, you know, guys in mid who like you could have heard the footstep of.
A little bit more slow pace now from Heroic. Re-smoke in middle. OG want them to have no access.
Oh, mid is spooky. So much year round could be just that, right? Just spamming smokes, spamming it, traces. So Neofrag decides he doesn't want any part in it. Gives up mid, plays it from the connector instead. Still has a good idea as to what's going on in middle, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see one of these B players look to move in a temple to help him out, because right now a lot of attention needs to go the way of middle. OG, they try to have Dexter bail them out, but he was only good for the first. Fiku's making a play. He gets through their smoke and molly, and now it's smoke and mirrors. Hell over their eyes on this one. Shush boxed into a corner, and OG coming big. The bomb doesn't even make it to the site, doesn't even get planted. The retake's already happening long before Heroic were ready for it.
Bro, he was going through that molly no matter what. The fact that smoke came out just helped him out massively. Oh, and you got to give credit too for Dexter. He just ignored A-Long. He was like, nah, screw it. I'm looking the other direction. It was wide open.
The whole time.
He's just like, if they come here, I'm dead. But if not, I'm getting at least one with me.
Wouldn't you know it, Fiku done exactly that. He just heard the drop as well. He knows that he's right here.
No.
Oh, he tries to get out, tries to run away, but he can't outrun the guns. Fiku finds him. It's an early 5v4 for OG.
Still recoverable. 3 players at the B bomb site. Cadian has shifted over with an AWP. They've got 2 smokes and 2 Molotovs to block off choke points. Config's got one of them, the re-aggression towards Ruins. But Shush has spotted numbers. And Config with 1 more kill brings it closer to being equalized. 3v4, and Config wants another. He's trying to cover his teammate Yabby coming through the window. They just turn. Config misses the timing. And it's all on Cadian, but they're coming to him.
Oh, they're coming from everywhere, Jason. This is brutal. He's got to look behind him. He's got to look in front of him. And everywhere he seemed to look, they'd be shooting him in the back. Just collapsed upon inside of that B site. OG, they're now the ones with chances to close this game out. They're now the ones in that pole position with 3 opportunities to take this over the line.
And you know what? Heroic's had 6 chances. This is not any kind of gimmick. This is OG showing some resilience. Now they've got 2 opportunities to close out the map. 2 chances to do what Heroic has been unable.
Config getting tricky with this smoke down in the canals again, but feels like they've kind of had his number here. Once more, a return to this slow, passive start. They're not looking to give over any fights early. They're not the ones feeling the pressure right now. OG are very, very measured as they set up outside of B. They find that opening. Fiku with the double. This could be the great undoing. They've only had 2 opportunities, but they only needed 1 to close this out. A 4v2 with the bomb down in B. This one's got an OG upset written all over it.
Put it in ink. Yabby's got no chance. So many targets, and he can't even get the first one. Dexter, who else? Closing it out, and OG have caused the